I see Diusi in here. I see Leo in here. Nobody else yet. Alright. So, we are going to be doing Trauma Team. I probably should have pulled up the disclaimer, but this game is not quite as detailed as the Second Opinion and New Blood. Although there is a lot of the same procedures and stuff, this is more cartoony than anything. And I see Tara now. Alright. Alright. Our classic Wii settings. I'm surprised that this one pulled out in widescreen where the other one did not. Although this one is available on the Wii U. I'm going to choose Resident. And this is a comic book style one. Was it? Okay. Some of the Wii games don't show up in widescreen. Oh, wait a minute. Let me turn on something. There we go. That's what I want. Huh. I got a new follower. All right. Now, I can go by chapters or I can follow an individual doctor.
Greetings, Doctor.
Greetings, Doctor.
Please allow me to inform you of how to interface with this hospital. You can tilt the control stick left and right while on this screen. This will allow you to select which doctor's episodes to experience. Should you wish to change the difficulty of your operations, point at the difficulty icon. Then press the A button on your Wii remote. Difficulty settings only apply to the doctors that perform operations.
For greater or lesser challenge, change the difficulty to something you find suitable to you. Alright. Which doctor should I start with? Should I start with the classic, which would be CR 501, We can do first responder, which is Maria Torres. We can do orthopedics, which is Hank Freebird. Endoscopic was Tomi Tachibana. Diagnostics, Gabriel Cunningham. Or forensics, Naomi Kimishima. Spelled Derek wrong. Hello, Dramagot. Dramagot. Does anybody want to choose a, let's see, a doctor? Choose a doctor. Oh, Vanilla. Okay, now I remember who you are. Yeah, let's have Di pick a doctor. Want surgery, first responder, orthopedics, endoscopic, diagnostics, or forensic. This is trauma team, so you're playing a bunch of doctors. Someone convince you to join? Yeah, you can pick a doctor. You want surgery, first responder, orthopedics, endoscopic, diagnostics, or forensics. So the Trauma Center games allowed you to play a doctor on the Wii. So yeah, they all work differently. Surgery is the basic one you're familiar with from the Trauma Center games. It's basically exactly the same. First responder is like 50% like the surgery, except for you're not cutting anybody open. It's basically paramedic. Orthopedics, you're using a drill and stuff for bones and stuff, and you're using hardware to fix somebody's bones. And for endoscopic, you're actually shoving a camera inside of somebody to perform an operation. And diagnostics is just to find out what is causing them to be sick or what's the problem with it. And forensics is basically just solving murder cases. What's that? Alright, so we've got surgery, which is CR 501. We got Maria Torres. She is the first responder. We've got Hank Freebird. He is orthopedics. We've got Tomi Tachibana. She's endoscopic. She's from Japan. We've got Gabriel Cunningham. He is diagnostics. And then we got Naomi Kimishima. She's forensics. You having me try Hank because he's green? Alright. We'll start with Hank.
Hurry up and give me the cash! Make it quick!
Not so fast, criminal!
Who the hell are you?
I am the ambassador of love and justice, Captain Eagle! No crime will be tolerated on my watch.
What? You masked freak! I'm gonna shoot!
Sir, are you all right?
Yeah.
I apologize for the mess. Please allow me to help fix it. And farewell!
Hey, wait! This isn't gonna cover the damage?
He's a doctor, but that opens up Hank Freebird. Do you want to see his procedure now? Or do you want to see a different doctor? It's another Marvel superhero. The ambassador of justice. He's quite a funny guy. The Captain Falcon clone. Alright. Let's introduce you to all the doctors. So we'll go blue next because that's the same color as see or not. So the first part's you're not gonna get any
Operation complete.
operations yet.
All right. Bring in the next patient.
Dr. Cunningham, this patient's convulsing.
Damn it. It just never ends.
Just go. Leave this place to me.
Yeah, I must have dozed off.
It's Lisa. I thought it'd be
6 out of 10 is being generous for this game. Although, it's a different take on the Trauma Center, but they're comparing it to the Trauma Center games, which you shouldn't exactly do with this game.
Huh. Well then.
Alright. Let's introduce you to CR501. This is the last of the Trauma Center series, yes.
Open the door. He wants to talk to the prisoner.
What? The guy with the 250-year sentence? I wasn't informed of this.
Here's my authorization from the HHS. Any problems?
I'm sure he won't say a word. He doesn't remember anything.
It's been a while.
I am not going to tell you why this guy's in prison.
What do you want?
You're needed for an operation, in exchange for a reduced sentence.
You want me to operate?
That's right. Here are the details if you want to see them. Take your time and think it over. But remember, you'll never have another opportunity to save lives.
Save lives. Again.
Alright. That is a fair introduction to that. I'm going to save her for last. Only because the way it opens up is controversial.
Everything has been prepared for your departure, Lady Tomoe.
With his 3DS being modded, he should be able to get him.
Very good. Hanzo, go on ahead and wait for me there.
As you wish.
I don't know. I'm not dropping frames.
By the 8 million gods that exist to protect this world, I, Tomoe, daughter of Tachibana, shall heed the path of honor. Let the heavens be my witness. Have a wonderful day, Lady Tomoe.
All right. Cumberland Institute of Forensic Medicine.
Corpse Whisperer.
Ah, come in.
Did you call for me, Chief Wayne?
Ah, good morning, Naomi. It seems the FBI needs your expertise. I'd like you to head over to the scene immediately.
I'm a medical examiner, not a police officer.
Don't be like that. I can't just turn the government down.
Fine. Well then.
Oh, and Naomi, one more thing. Here's our liaison from the FBI. You should meet him.
You?
Special Investigator Naval. A pleasure to meet you, Doctor.
Yes. Nice to meet you too. What are you doing? You an FBI agent? This must be a joke.
Please keep your voice down. It's been a while, hasn't it? I didn't have the luxury of witness protection, like you.
Just shut up. I'm only here because it's my job. I have nothing to do with you faking your way into the FBI. And don't you ever talk about my past again.
Whatever you say, ma'am.
Good.
Whoa, where are you going?
To the crime scene. Send the address to my GPS.
Oh, I'll have them bring the car around.
You are waiting here. Tell your people on site I'm coming.
But,
Nice tie there, little guy. Be a good boy and stay.
Doctor! Oh, no.
Alright. And now we're going to introduce you to Maria Torres. Oh. Trudy redeemed fairy water, and I gave everyone cookies.
Maria Torres here. Oh, hey, Chief.
Maria, a fire's broken out on 14th. Get there and hurry.
Why are you calling me? I'm off duty.
Everyone else is out right now. Stop complaining and go.
Ugh. All right, but I better see a bonus next payday.
Find the Twitch link and see if you can get me on Twitch too. I can't check the audio.
Okay, let's do this.
Alright, so that's everybody. So we're going to start with Hank Freeman, get his operation started. Huh? I'm showing excellent, it's still playing. Yeah. Well, you're checking to see if the audio itself is behind. Well, right now, there may not be anything that I can do about that.
What in the world are you doing?
Good morning. I tripped and I fell.
How'd that happen? Here, take a look at this
Evening,
chart.
you.
She needs surgery. Have you met with her yet?
Huh? Yeah, I was the one that diagnosed her. She's stable.
I see.
And don't celebrate yet. Make sure you do a good job. Got it?
Yeah,
Is it behind
of course.
Twitch?
She has a case of plumber's disease. This should be easy.
Huh?
Make your incision in the neck and excise only the adenoma.
That's normal for Twitch, but you should be listening to see if you can hear the sound as they talk on the bubble. Well, we're checking to see if the audio is out of sync. So Diusi says it seems fine. It must be on. It just must be on your side. Okay.
Now, the number of adenoma is unknown, so get
Well,
on.
that's on YouTube. I'm trying to figure out if Twitch is that way too. Trudy's there.
Understood. Beginning the operation. Let's begin this procedure.
Orthopedic rules. If you miss too many times, you will fail.
We gotta start with an incision into the neck. Grab the scalpel first.
Using the scalpel, hold A and move the pointer carefully along the guideline.
Use the scalpel and trace the incision guideline. Whew. Taking a break already? Well, it's better than screwing up the incision.
Can you stop complaining when you're supposed to be supporting me?
Wah, wah, wah. Quit whining. Hurry up and get back to the incision.
Incision complete.
Stop patting yourself on the back. From here on, it's the real deal.
Is this it?
That's right. No need to rush. Take all the time you need. You can stop whenever you want. Just stay close to the guideline during the excision.
This one's not too difficult.
Good. Cautiously continue on.
No time.
All right. You've removed the first one.
I haven't had any confirmation if that's the way it is on Twitch. Twitch is going to be slightly behind. Because that's normally how Twitch is because it doesn't have the optimization as YouTube does. But if you can listen to it and the audio and you can hear the audio at the same time the bubble pops up, then it's doing fine.
Looks like it's this one. Begin the excision. That was pretty good.
The second one has been completely excised.
Nice. At this pace, we'll be able to get home in time for dinner. Let's move on to a big one then.
Indeed, this is a large one.
The procedure isn't any different though. Just be careful and stay attentive.
You make it sound so easy. Beginning the treatment. All right, let's proceed. Be careful.
Looks like you're on a roll.
It's going well today. Excision complete. Is that all of them?
Nope, not yet. Can't leave any of these behind after all.
That's pretty big.
You're good. Yeesh. Wasn't I clear when I said to stay close to the line? Don't push yourself. If things get hairy, just take a breather.
I made one mistake. That's
Good. Cautiously continue
that's
on.
not bad considering.
It's going well. There shouldn't be too many left.
According to my speculation, this should be the last one. Stay focused until you're done with it. That was pretty good.
All right, let's proceed. Be careful. I strayed from the guideline. I need to be more delicate.
Oh, I did it.
How about it? Are there any more?
Nope, that was the last one after all. Let's close the operation field and finish up. We're using the stapler to close up. Make sure to avoid leaving wounds, okay?
Using the stapler, match the position and angle, then press A and B.
Just follow the line and staple the incision closed. I'm sure you know this already.
Four more to go. I'll continue.
All right, one more.
Operation complete. That went well.
Not bad.
Well, that's done. Looks like it went a little quicker than we expected.
I have your support to thank for that. I'm grateful for your help.
Ah, what are you talking about? Never mind. Good job today. What's with that look?
Well, don't your cigarettes get damp in here?
What happened if you went diving without an oxygen mask?
I'd drown?
You see? Consider this my version of an oxygen mask.
So that's how these things work.
We have breaking news in progress. Theodore Gacy's visit to the country is fast approaching. Gacy's usually known by his nickname, Steady Hand Teddy. He is the alleged leader of an overseas drug smuggling cartel. Groups are now at the airport rallying against his arrival.
Oh, hey. You, free later? Wanna hit a bar or some... Hey, what the... Where'd that guy go?
Is this country run by idiots or what? Land of the free. Let's see if we can't make some sales, shall we? Who the hell are you supposed to be?
I won't allow crime to occur on this soil. Prepare yourself.
More crime, eh? Tell me, is this what you had in mind?
Guns aren't for threatening people.
What?
Guns are only for murdering people.
Are you some sort of monster?
If you wanted to kill me, you'd have shot already.
Don't move
Farewell.
or we'll shoot. That goes for everybody.
Hey, you! Tiny! You think you've won, huh? You're some goddamn hero to save the city? Bullshit! You're no better than me, you hypocrite!
Don't move! Theodore Gacy, you're under arrest!
That was fun. Alright. About to skip some messages. Alright.
Gabe, I'm coming in.
Please excuse us, Doctor.
Walking dirt now. This thing's heavy.
What's going on?
Does this walk over
No one
here?
told me I'm getting a roommate.
Ta-da! Isn't it amazing?
The red one goes over there.
Let me introduce you to your
I've
new
never done this
partner,
before. How am I
the
supposed to
Roni
know?
system.
Isha, my office isn't a storage room.
This baby's built to help diagnosticians like you. It sorts and reviews records. It also has a disease database.
Amazing. I'm sure even NASA'd be impressed. So if we're sued, the records are here. Thanks for the trust.
Gabe, just try it out. I'm sure you'll like it.
Right, I'm sure. If you ask me, this thing's just...
Good morning, Dr. Cunningham.
It talks.
For the love of God! This thing talks?
I'm sure you'll get along just fine. I'll leave you two alone.
Later.
Sorry for the intrusion, Doctor. Hey, Emma, you should apologize.
Wait! Isha!
Great. What am I supposed to do with this thing?
Condition identified. Deep sighing. Upon
possible sign of cardiac neurosis caused by fatigue. Recommend ingestion of beta blockers or tranquilizers.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thanks for the tip. Look, I got a favor to ask. You know, since you're so smart.
Yes, Doctor. What is your request?
Just don't talk anymore unless I ask you to, okay? Just sit there like a rock. You got it?
Yes, Doctor. But my composition is 82% petroleum processed materials. With my 10% mineral base, I cannot be a very convincing rock.
Right.
Looks like I got company. Hold on one sec. So, how do I use you?
That's a very great question.
Examine the patient and enter in all observed conditions. Then I will calculate the most probable disease. Currently.
Hey, just one step at a time here, buddy. Not a robot.
Correct. There is a 90% probability that you are human.
90%?
You can get back to me on that 10% some other time. Now, let's start the diagnosis.
14 female. Her name is Nicole Summers. Student from a private school. Admitted for breathing problems that occurred during choir practice.
Hello.
Hey, no need to be nervous. Just relax.
Oh, okay.
Well then, are you ready, Miss Super Robot?
Yes, Doctor. But I am not a super robot. I am a diagnostics assistance terminal.
Whatever, just stop talking. And let's start the consultation.
Starting exam. Point to the option on the left and press A to begin each exam.
Now, let's see what you've got to say. Why'd you come to the hospital?
Oh, yes.
Objectives of a consultation. Try to find symptoms by listening to what patients say. Performing a consultation, point at words related to the patient's symptoms and press A.
I'm in the school choir. There's an important competition coming up soon, but my throat feels all weird for some reason.
Diagnosis rules. If you make too many mistakes, then you will fail.
It's kind of hard to inhale, and I can't really catch my breath between notes.
So she's having trouble breathing. It's a light case of dyspnea. Roni, can you record the patient's symptom?
Yes, Doctor. Congratulations. You received the symptom. Dyspnea.
What the? Do you need to say it like that? You make it sound like we're playing a video game or something.
Are we?
That is my default syntax and inflection for new record entries. Will it affect the diagnosis? I have a variety of templates in my database if you would prefer another.
Change it. This isn't a game, you know. What were they thinking when they put you together?
Understood, Doctor. Changing my expression at the end of the sentence and confirming it. New symptom observed. Dyspnea.
Oh, that'll do. It's about as close to normal as you're gonna get.
Alright. Let me check this one.
An abnormality in the throat. I need to find a more specific symptom.
Actually, I had to take the day off from school yesterday, too. I was getting short of breath just sitting still, and my heart would start pounding.
So you've got palpitations and shortness of breath, even while resting? What about now? Are you still experiencing these symptoms?
Huh? Oh, yes. I've been feeling like this since yesterday.
I see. I'll need to auscultate you later on.
I'm sorry. Thinking about this is a little depressing. Oh, but there's something good that's happened. I've never been able to stick to a diet before. But lately I've been able to lose weight no matter what I eat.
Yeah, that's an abnormality.
Lost weight? Well, she seems rather happy about it. But losing weight without doing anything isn't normal. We should add that to the list.
Understood, Doctor. New symptom observed. Decrease in weight.
Yikes, what am I talking about? Anyway, that's it. Doctor, am I sick with something?
All right, that should do it. There's no need for further consultation.
Certainly, Doctor. Please continue with the auscultation. Signs of palpitations and shortness of breath can be detected by the patient's speech.
Yeah. You know, it sounds like you're the one giving me orders.
Doctor, the auscultation exam is now available.
All right, I'm going to take a listen. Could you lift up your clothing for me?
Oh, okay. This is a little embarrassing.
Doctor, please express more consideration when examining patients of the opposite gender. The social and legal intricacies of such interactions call for greater care to avoid unnecessary risks.
Hey now, I'm just using a stethoscope. How else you expect me to examine her?
Oh, I'll be all right.
Oh, look, you just made this whole deal even more awkward for her.
Objectives of auscultation. Use a stethoscope to listen for abnormal internal sounds. Where to auscultate? You can check the heart, left lung, right lung, and abdomen. Stethoscope controls. Tilt the control stick to move, hold to listen. Stethoscope settings. 1. Auscultation results can be heard on the Wii remote. Stethoscope 2 settings. Or settings 2, you can change the output on the right by pressing A. Okay. Standard auscultation sounds. Hold Z and tilt up down to compare with normal sound samples. Identifying abnormal sounds, press A when you discover an abnormality. Alright, let me check. So, I changed it. So, I'm going to have you guys listen to it, because I listened to it from the remote. And I can't really hear much of a difference. So, I'm going to have you guys determine to see if you guys can hear a difference. That's the patient. That's Nora, what she's supposed to sound like. That's the right lung. This is the left lung. This is her stomach. I think the stomach sounds the same. Okay. I believe this is an abnormality.
Her heart rate is elevated. Roni, record that symptom.
Yes, Doctor. New symptom observed. Increased heart rate.
Patient's breathing pretty rapidly. Roni, make a note of it.
Yes, Doctor. New symptom observed. Increased breathing.
Huh? Oh. Hey, Eric. I think that sounds fine. So the heart and the breathing is the is what we're looking at here. Did anyone hear anything different with the stomach? Because I think they sound the same. I thought they sound the same. Alright, so that should be it then.
Huh? The more I examine the patient, the more incongruities I'm finding. Let's see. Time to check them out with a visual exam.
Objectives of a visual exam. Try to find symptoms by observing a patient's outward appearance. Zooming in, point at the patient and press A to zoom in. Abnormalities when zoomed in. When you find an abnormality, press A to examine further. Visual exam of the abdomen, point at the patient's stomach, and press A to examine it.
Her hands are trembling. That's not a good sign. Roni, make a note.
Yes, Doctor. New symptom observed. Trembling fingertips.
Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
Appears to be swelling on her neck. All right, I'm sorry, but I need to touch it just a little.
Oh, yes, please do so.
I see. Does this hurt?
It does hurt a little.
Well, I think we should do a CT scan. Roni, make arrangements for image analysis.
Yes, Doctor. I am initiating the approval process. Please designate a date for this procedure and list any other pertinent details.
No.
What? It's for today. Immediately, right now. Capiche? There's got to be an open slot for.
Doctor, are you aware of hospital regulations?
No one ever got better by following regulations. Now hurry up and do it.
Yes, Doctor. Request sent. New symptom observed. Swollen neck. Also, the CT exam is now available.
Okay.
Well, that's all the obvious symptoms. Let's end the exam for now.
Thank you very much.
Don't thank me just yet. The exam isn't over. You may have to come back here depending on the results, okay?
Oh, yes, of course. I'll do just that.
Now, time to leave the exam room. I'll just come back if I need to.
Moving locations. Point to the door and press A.
Dr. Cunningham, I am obligated to provide you with instructions on hospital protocol. Please return to your office if you wish to perform a diagnosis or record your progress. Also, the preparations for the CT examination you requested earlier have been made. Please proceed to the image analysis lab if you wish to check the results of the exam.
I'm not an intern, Roni. I know how this hospital works.
This room is allotted for doctors to confirm and review images of their patients.
The CT's ready, right? Well, let's check it out.
Reviewing exam images, point to the computer and press A to confirm exam images. Move location, point to the door and press A. Let's just look at this.
Roni, bring up the patient's images.
Yes, Doctor. Now opening the image files. Dr. Cunningham, I would like to explain the details of this exam. The CT exam is short for computer tomography. An X-ray is applied to the human body and tomographic images can be taken of the affected areas.
You know I went to med school, right? And not online classes or something? I'm an actual doctor.
I am aware of your credentials. This explanation is written into my default settings.
Is that so? Well, it's a good thing they didn't program you with anything useful, huh?
Alright. Images are of the patient's neck. In other words, they're tomographies of the neck and the area around it. Yeah, time to start. Looking for a reason behind the swelling in her neck.
Alright, let's check these out one at a time.
Objectives of image analysis. Look for patient abnormalities in the exam images. Image analysis controls. Tilt up, down to compare with a normal sample. Select with A. Caution. Some exam images will have no abnormalities at all. This is technically the wishbone, so alright, well this one does not have, let's look at this one. Do you? Yes, I see it too.
A portion of her thyroid gland is swollen. This'll help with the diagnosis. I should go back to my room and sort out all these symptoms.
Understood, Doctor. New symptom observed. Swollen thyroid gland.
Already found all the clues I need. No use coming back here now. D, Doctor, please return to your office and proceed with the diagnosis.
Well then, time to narrow down our candidates from these symptoms.
Start diagnosis. Point to Roni and press A and begin the diagnosis. Save the game. Point at save and press A. Getting help from Roni. Point at talk and press A. Moving locations. Point to the door and press A.
Show me the likely conditions from the symptoms we found.
Yes, Doctor. Now displaying all potential diagnosis candidates.
Okay. Now, the diseases that the symptoms we've discovered are apply to are diagnosis descriptions. Point to a diagnosis candidate and press A for a description. Alright, so painless thyroiditis. A condition in applying symptoms. Hold A to move a symptom over a diagnosis candidate and release. Alright. A condition in which the thyroid gland has been destroyed. The release of thyroid hormones into the bloodstream causes hypothyroidism. In the onset of the disease, the thyroid gland swells, which can be confirmed through visual examination as swelling on the neck in some cases. The swollen thyroid gland places pressure on the respiratory tract, causing difficult breathing. Increased hormonal levels in the blood causes increased heart rate and heavy breathing. Other symptoms that may arise include trembling fingers and weight loss. An analysis exam will reveal abnormalities such as low TSH level, high FT3 level, and high FT4 level. Almost no uptake of radioactive iodine can be confirmed in the scintigraphy. Alright, well, this is decreased weight, trembling fingers. Let's see.
All right. All the symptoms seem applicable to this candidate.
Doctor, it is possible there may be more candidates which match the patient's symptoms. I advise checking the symptoms against other candidates as well.
Did I say I was finished with my diagnosis? I was about to do that.
Yeah, because there needs to be because you didn't do any blood work on her yet. Graves' disease, a condition in which antibodies in the thyroid gland causes swelling of the thyroid gland and excessive thyroid hormone production. The entire thyroid gland swells. A visual exam will confirm swelling in the neck. In some cases, the swollen thyroid gland places pressure on the respiratory tract, causing difficult breathing. Hormone increases causes increased heart rate, increased breathing rate, as well as trembling fingers and weight loss.
This candidate seems quite plausible as well.
That is not entirely unexpected, Doctor. It happens quite frequently. We should continue checking the other candidates and narrow down the list of matches.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
Analysis exam will reveal abnormalities such as TSH level, low TSH level, high FT3 level, and high FT4 level. An MRI exam will show swelling of the muscles around the eyes and the thyroid. Yeah, it's not Graves' disease, it's Plummer's disease. A condition in which benign tumors on the thyroid gland causes excess thyroid hormones to be secreted. Swelling of the thyroid gland and swelling of the neck can be determined through visual exams. In some cases, the swollen thyroid gland places pressure on the respiratory tract, causing difficult breathing. Hormone increase causes increased heart rate and increased breathing rate as well, trembling fingers, and weight loss. Let's see, reveal abnormalities such as
Yep, this one's a match too. That's 3 possible candidates.
I agree, Doctor. However, these are all thyroid gland diseases.
Yeah, I know. There's a good chance the patient's got a thyroid.
Probably.
Roni, let's move on to the definitive diagnosis. Get approval for the necessary exams.
Fairy water.
Would you like me to submit immediately for the date and time?
Okay.
Yep, you catch on fast.
I'm sending the request now. An MRI exam, a scintigraphy exam, and an analysis exam are now available.
Alright, before I go any further, I'm going to have to...
Now we need something more concrete for our diagnosis. Let's get started.
I agree, Doctor. Hopefully the additional exams will be of use. Dr. Cunningham, I have more information for you. Please head to the examination room to perform analysis exams. Also, the preparations for the MRI and scintigraphy exams you requested earlier have been made. Please proceed to the image analysis lab to check these results.
Yeah. I do know my way around my own workplace, Roni.
Kinda. Alright. Going to the exam room.
Good morning, Doctor. What did the test results say?
Well, we're still narrowing it down, but it's most likely a thyroid gland disease.
Thyroid gland? I'm going to be able to sing again, right? If I ever lost my voice.
Calm down. I know you're worried, but I'm not finished diagnosing you yet. Just hang in there until the final results are in.
That's true. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Roni, how about it? Is the analysis exam done?
Yes, Doctor. Would you like to look at the file?
Of course. Why bother with an exam if we don't look at the results? Bring it up.
Understood. Opening the file.
Well then, let's go in order and compare the patient's values with the standard values.
Objectives of analysis exams. Look for abnormal levels measured by each of the tests. Identifying abnormal levels, point to levels outside normal range and press A. So, normal levels, well, the blood pressure's within, this is within, that's within, her red blood cells within, that's within. So, all those are done. Protein, within, that's within, that is within, cholesterol, within. BNP is within. Serum amylase, within. Serum lipase, within. Serum calcium, within. Phosphorus, within. PRL, within. GTP, within. LAP, within. Elastase, within. Gastrin, within. Alright, talking about immune. PKVKA, KA, within. AFP, within. This one's outside. Yes.
The FT3 level seems a little high. Roni, make a record of this.
Understood, Doctor. New symptom observed.
This is too high.
Well, it isn't by much, but the FT4 level's a bit higher than the standard range. Roni, record that for me.
Understood, Doctor. New symptom observed. High FT4 level.
And low TSH.
Her TSH value seems rather low. Roni, please record that.
Understood, Doctor. New symptom observed.
Low TSH level. This is within range, and that's all that's it. Okay.
Preparations for the scintigraphy and MRI exams have been completed.
Perfect. Let's get right to it then.
Oh, I am going to get new emotes.
Allow me to provide information about the exams that are now available.
Whatever. I don't have the energy to even try and stop you anymore.
Scintigraphy is an exam where the accumulation and distribution of radioisotopes are made into images. By confirming the uptake of isotopes, the condition of tumors and organs can be analyzed. Next, the magnetic resonance imaging exam, or MRI exam. It uses magnetism to take cross-section images of the human body. It is similar to a CT scan, but there is no exposure to radiation. Because MRI exams can yield more detailed images, they are generally used for foci in the head.
You're just a walking encyclopedia of things I already know, huh?
Alright, let's take a look at the MRI. Dr. This image is a tomography of the patient's head. Yeah, that's right. In other words, it's a slice of the human head. Now time to look at them. Gotta check for any abnormalities. The eye seems to be normal. Nothing. This image is of the thyroid gland in the patient's throat. Shows the uptake of isotopes. Yeah, I know. I'll check them out right away.
The uptake of radioactive iodine is concentrated in several areas of the thyroid gland. Roni, make a record of this.
Understood, Doctor. New symptom observed. Abnormal thyroid uptake.
Well, that about does it here. Let's go back to my office and continue the diagnosis.
Alright. I should be able to diagnose her now.
Well, that about does it here. Let's go back to my office and continue the diagnosis.
Alright. Did those respiratory blood. Let's see. No uptake of radioactive iodine. Almost no uptake of radio. Yeah, it's missing that symptom, so it does not match. So there's no MRI, so plumber's disease. I'm gonna say plumber's disease is the one. So she got low SH level, high FT4 and high FT3, and
this. It's official. The patient is suffering from plumber's disease. Roni, contact the orthopedics department. We need to put a chart together.
This is the operation we did with Hank.
Understood, Doctor. I'll process the rest from here. Well done.
All that's left is to tell the patient. I'm glad she doesn't have something that's too serious. And so, it's just a simple orthopedic procedure.
And I'll be completely cured?
Huh? Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Come on in. You again. What do you want now?
My, how rude! I am the chief, after all. It's my job to watch over everyone in this ward.
All right, just get to the point. What do you want?
Would it kill you to be civilized?
It's Gabriel Cunningham.
I just got word from Tomoe. Joshua's operation went well.
I see.
You're not going to go see him then?
The operation's over. Why would they need another doctor?
That's not what I mean. What I'm trying to say is...
Yeah. What else is on your mind?
Here.
An invitation? You want me to go to a medical conference?
It's a good one. With an after party. And it's in Japan. It's being catered by an Italian chef. I can hardly wait. Oh, hey, what was that for?
Unfortunately, I don't have time for pointless things. If conferences saved lives, I'd be the first one in line. Oh, and by the way, can you take this to Hank?
What? Surgery instructions? Gabe, I'm the chief.
Oh, I received
not
1,000
personal
messages on Restream.
Hey, you said it's your duty to watch over the ward.
Oh, 100. I'm sorry.
Ugh, fine then.
Yes, Gabriel Cunningham, that's your son. Alright. We are going to... We'll do surgery.
Get out. This is Resurgam First Care. You'll be operating here. The only time you'll be out of cuffs is during the operation. Remember, this is 5 years off your sentence. Questions?
None. I'm just here to do my business.
Hey there. Hank Freebird. I'm a doctor here. I'll be your support for this operation. What's your name?
His name doesn't matter. Let's keep the contact minimal. His prison number is CRS-01 if you need to call him anything.
I see. I understand.
Now get started. We'll be waiting here for you.
Well then, I'll be explaining the gist of this operation.
I'm told we'll be using an old CVR for a DCM case.
That's right. But, will you be alright?
What do you mean by that?
I heard from the man outside that you have no memories. This isn't just some way to pay a debt. A life's on the line.
You don't need to worry about that. Let's operate.
Jacob Tillman, age 55, gender male, height 70.8 inches, weight 194 pounds. Dilated cardiomyopathy. After the incision, locate and treat quickly with an overlapping method. Alright, now, I believe that this one has a time limit.
Well then, let's begin the operation.
Surgery rules. If the patient's vitals drop to 0, you fail.
The patient's vitals are low. Get me a syringe.
Select the tool pallet, tilt control stick on the nunchuck to select the tool from
The green medicine is the stabilizer.
Drawing a medicine, point at the medicine ample and press and hold A. Inject medicine, point in the object site and press and hold A.
All right, injecting stabilizer into the patient. Vitals are recovered. Stabilization complete. Next, we must disinfect the entire disinfection complete. Beginning incision. Scalpel.
Using the scalpel, hold A, the edge of the guide, and move it carefully.
All right, trace the guideline to make the incision. Incision complete. Starting now, the real deal.
Oh, I don't have a time limit, I guess.
We need to find the affected areas. Ready the ultrasound.
The affected areas should appear as black shadows.
Using the ultrasound, move the pointer and press A when you find a shadow.
Found it. The yellow vial contains the antiviral drug. All right, the drug's working. Prepare the scalpel for incision. Affected area has been opened. Using the drain. Now to suture.
We'll treat them first. Pull one.
Oh, come on!
All right, one side has been overlapped. All right, I'll need to suture the wound before it opens up again. First area has been treated. All going as planned.
Test did confirm multiple affected areas, though.
Don't worry. We'll find them all and treat them. All right, drug's working. Prepare the scalpel. Affected area has been opened. Let's close the wound before it hemorrhages. Next. All right. Next suturing incision. Prepare the suture.
That's the second area done. Your skills are amazing.
Don't waste my time with your opinions. Let's keep going. That's odd. There should be more affected areas. Get the ultrasound out of my way. It's not helping anymore.
What do you mean? Tell me what you're thinking.
It's a simple fact. The ultrasound can't find everything. Let's palpate the organ directly to find them.
Using additional tools. Point at a tool to the left and press A.
You're going to feel the areas? Would that be okay?
Performing palpation, hold A on the area and wait for the reaction.
Inject the antiviral.
You won't find anything if you don't take your time. Try holding your hand there for a little while longer.
I've found an abnormal area. Injecting the drug. There it is. Prepare a scalpel. The affected area has been opened. Let's close the wound before it hemorrhages again. Next. All right. Next suturing incision. Suture complete. Moving on to the next area. I've found an abnormal area. Injecting the drug. I've found an affected area. Beginning incision. Affected area has been opened. Using the drain. Let's close the wound before... Next. All right. Next suturing incision. Suture complete. Moving on to the next area. I've found an abnormal area. Injecting the drug. Affected area has been opened. Let's close the wound before it hemorrhages. Next. All right. Next suturing incision. Prepare the sutures. That should finish the treatment procedure. Now, let's close them up. Beginning the incision suturing.
Once we're done here, the operation will be over.
Get the antibiotic gel ready to cleanse the sutured wound. All right, let's bandage up the incision now.
Using tape, hold A, move the pointer across the wound, and release.
Operation complete. Let this disease pass from this world.
Impressive. I never thought I'd see surgery like that. amazing skill. I have to thank you for this.
Your sentiment doesn't matter. I don't need thanks.
Is that so? I think it's important to show gratitude.
Alright, moving on to the next procedure.
Looks like it worked. But I wonder if it's all right to use a procedure that's so outdated.
That was a fine operation, Doctor. Thank you.
Who is he anyway? Oh, is he a famous
I
doctor?
didn't do anything worth being thanked over.
How should I know? He does have some
I
amazing
see.
Doctor, huh?
Oh. We are going to Tachibana next. This is going to be an interesting procedure.
Hey, Tomoe!
Oh, good morning, Maria. Today's a fine day, don't you think?
Yeah. Hey, are you on night shift today? You're here early.
Yes, Joshua's operation has been scheduled for today.
Oh, Gabe's son, right? I completely forgot.
It is only an ulcer treatment, so I'm sure it'll go smoothly.
Cool. I'll go in too as your support, okay?
Oh, but you can't, Maria. Didn't you work here overnight? You need to rest.
I'll be fine. This is why I work out. Just let me grab a shower.
Oh boy.
Maria! Oh well. Refusing a friend's kindness is not the way of
Tara,
life.
hasn't she already seen the inside of a human
Hanzo,
body?
please make the preparations for the operation.
Certainly, my lady.
We will now begin treating the ulcer using the endoscope.
We're ready,
Let's
Doctor.
do this!
Hanzo, my instruments, please.
As you wish.
Holy moly, what is that?
This is Lady Tomoe's personal endoscope, built to her orders. The grip is boxwood, embellished with golden bellflower.
Built to order? You had an endoscope made just for you?
The Path of Honor demands that I use the best tools I can. Gold is non-toxic. Also, it is thinner, thus less intrusive.
Still, to shell out the cash for your own endoscope?
And now, let us get this conference underway. Maria, where are Joshua's parents today?
Shoving a tube with a camera down a 10-year-old's throat, this is going to be a very difficult procedure because a child shouldn't have to have anything shoved down their throat.
Huh? Oh, his mother can't be here because of work. His father, he works here. We've got written consent.
I see. Then I presume there are no further hurdles. The Path of Honor demands we save this child's life.
Right.
So, Joshua Cunningham, age 10, gender male, height 50.4 inches, weight 59.5 pounds. Treat the ulcers in the patient's gastric wall. Hemorrhaging predicted due to patient's inflammations. So this is a very different procedure.
Well then, let's begin the operation. Please do your best.
Movement and treatment. Use the endoscope to move the affected areas and treat them.
The view ahead is clear. The patient seems to be in good condition. Let's move the camera and take a look around.
Drive the endoscope. Driving the endoscope. Tilt control stick on the nunchuck to direct the endoscope.
It's responding quickly. Next, let's move it forward.
Driving the endoscope forward. Hold A and B and push the Wii remote towards the screen. I've had one of these shoved down my throat.
Gently as the drifting waters. Now let's try pulling it back.
Do it the opposite direction. Auto retreat, press down and hold the automatic retreat.
This truly is a quality machine. I have to thank whoever built it. Well, the endoscope seems to be working fine. Let's begin the actual procedure. First, we must locate the affected areas. Let's move forward until we find them.
It's a blood pool.
These are blood pools. Let's treat them using the drain.
Now it's a blood pool. Locking onto affected areas. Approach until the blue lock-on indicator display.
Let's place the drain's tip in the blood pool to drain it.
Tool palette, open and close. C to select the tool. Select the drain, open the palette. Yeah.
Let's continue draining it until the blood pool disappears completely.
Press Z to use the tool. Okay. Z until the drain, Z until blood pool here.
The blood pool has been treated. Let's continue with the operation. Dropping. We must hurry and find the affected area. This area is hemorrhaging. Let's use the hemostatic forceps.
Okay. We'll need to apply an affected.
Hemorrhaging's formed a blood pool. Use the drain on it.
something about that. The vitals have been recovered. Let's continue with the procedure. Excuse me. I need to use caution with the controls.
Not too fast.
It's an ulcer. Let's treat it by injecting medicine.
All right, the first ulcer's been treated. Watch the amount of medicine you use.
It seems there are more affected areas. Let's keep moving in.
Radar.
Here's an ulcer. Let's inject it with alginate solution.
All right, we're done treating the ulcers.
Carelessness is our greatest enemy. Some ulcers cannot be found visually.
Huh? What are we supposed to do then?
We'll be using a spray to cause those ulcers to change color. Please remember all that, all right?
Okay.
Let's see. For example, I'm going to mark an area that looks suspicious. Let's try the coloring spray on it.
Ah, there's that ulcer. Okay, inject the medicine.
The ulcers have been treated. Let's move on to the next step. We've reached the stomach. Time the cardiac sphincter's movement and move on. The affected areas are concentrated around here. Let's treat them one at a time.
The blood pool's spreading. You should hurry up and drain it. Okay, let's begin the treatment.
The blood pool has been removed. Let's continue the treatment. Hemorrhaging is present. Let's use the hemostatic...
Hey, we're in injection range. Jam it right in there. All right, it's been cauterized. Let's move on to the next treatment. Whoa, bumping into the inner wall can harm the patient. Be careful, okay?
See it now.
All right, let's use it.
It's kind of weird that there is one way that she came in, but yeah, I can go out.
The patient isn't stabilizing. Let's use the spray to search for more problems.
Yeah. Become a star. Uh-huh.
There's an ulcer here, too. I guess it is important to search around for them.
Procedure complete. Well done, everyone.
Whew! Using that thing takes a real light touch.
All one needs is the resolve to stay calm.
Staying calm? That's the part that tires me out the most.
Good that they don't make me pull that thing back out. No bad stomach treated in 90 seconds.
Whew! We somehow pulled through. Man, I am tired.
I'm sorry to cause so much trouble. If only I'd been able to do it better.
I think Gabriel Cunningham's was the longest, and this is just as long.
Come on, don't say that. The operation was a success. Just remember that.
Alright.
Tube has been removed. Vitals are good.
Blood pressure normal. No abnormalities detected.
Operation complete. I'm sure Joshua will make a full recovery.
Way to go! Ah! It went perfectly. That's our Chamoy.
Thank you. Your support was valuable too, Maria.
Oh, I didn't do all that much. Oh, I need to contact his mom.
Indeed. Don't forget to tell Dr. Cunningham, too.
Man, parents always worry about their kids. Even the people from my orphanage bug me whenever I see them. They always ask me when I'm getting married, stuff like that.
I see.
Did I just say something I shouldn't have?
Oh, no. My mother died when I was young.
Oh, but, your dad's still alive, right?
As to my father, I had a fight with him when I left Japan.
Oh. Jeez. Sorry. I don't know when to shut up.
Oh, no, it's not your fault at all, Maria.
Okay.
Maria, you just made this whole thing awkward.
Anyway, I'm sure your dad's wishing you the best. I mean, you are the best endoscopic surgeon in America.
Is she?
The best? Thank you, Maria.
No problem. Come on, let's go get our grub on.
Oh, doctor, I want to go too.
Hey, you have reports to write up. It's my turn today.
What, you guys want in? All right, this night's on me, so drink up. Woohoo!
All right. Because Maria was in that one, we're going to do her. No, I got Dr. Kimishima.
Almost there, just hang on. Good.
Hey, you! Has everybody been rescued?
Who the?
I'm with Resurgam First Care. Tell me what's going on.
A fire broke out in the power facility. It's being contained.
Damn, that was a big one.
Hey, hey, where you going?
Fire outbreak at power purification facility.
Hey, you okay? What happened?
We had a backdraft. 2 of the people inside were hit by it.
Spreading backup has been requested.
They need immediate treatment. Move them over here if you can.
2 initial victims.
All right, beginning treatment.
Emergency response with communication. Safety transport as many as possible. You do not save enough patients and you will fail. Alright, well we're going to additional tools. Yes, yes, yes. Fine.
Hey, pipes. Damn it, this gauze is soaked through. I need a new piece. All right, blood pools have been treated. Let's get a look at the abdomen next. There's burns too. I gotta anesthetize him with the antibiotic gel. That's not enough. I need to throw more on. Okay, spread the gel on it. Now to put some gauze on top. Okay, and now to saturate the gauze with Acme, all right? Once I tape up the gauze, this treatment should be done. I have to make sure the tape goes straight across. Good. Moving on to the next section. The burns on his stomach are all treated. Let's take a look at his left arm. Yikes, his arm's in bad shape. I'll have to do some first aid here, too. Oh, vitals are getting low. I should use the syringe to recover them just in case. All right, he'll be okay for now. Oh, yeah, there's another wounded person. I should take a look at her, too. Whoa, this one's got burns, too. What's that? Hang in there, okay? What's with these convulsions? Damn, cardiac arrest. Starting chest compressions.
Move the Wii remote in time with the aim pushing downward.
That's it. You get back here. The pulse is returned. I'll need to secure an airway. Use a laryngeal mask. Put this straight into a respiratory tract without bending it. Whew. I was kind of nervous there. Rescue complete.
Back to the other team.
Almost finished, okay? The burns have been treated. Better do a blood transfusion just in case. First, to disinfect the area. Where's that MLA? Have to secure an intravenous path to the cabinet. Could I put those in you? There we go. Now to bandage it in place. Okay, just got... Okay, there. Treatment complete. All right, transport this guy out of here. Is that all the wounded taken care of? All right, mission complete.
She's not too bad. God's not thrown away automatically.
All right, I'm on a roll today. All right, that's all the patients.
Hey, you!
Huh? Oh, are you guys done here too?
Who do you think you are, barking out orders like that? Disasters require strict adherence to the chain of command. If you disrupt the team's coordination, you're hurting us.
What did you just say? I was called here because you obviously couldn't handle...
Hey, are you spacing out? Ah, I get it now. You're Maria Torres from Resurgam.
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard about you. Hey, have you heard a single word I've been saying? You're not helping. You're a nuisance.
Shut up!
Oh!
That would be assault and battery.
Damn right I'll order you around. I'm the best one here. If cooperating is so important to you, then do what I say. Later, asshole.
I think she kicked him in the balls. Alright. We're going to do this one now. Now this one requires a lot of thinking. This is different from Ace Attorney or even Danganronpa. But this is a thorough investigation on the medical side.
We've received word about you. Miss Kimishima, is it?
Good. This will make things easier. Where's the victim?
He's over here. This way, please.
Victim is Dennis Taylor, 30-year-old male. Neighbor called in the fire. The fireman found him. The knife in his hand matched the cut wounds. Probably suicide.
Huh. What's this?
Oh, that's where the fire started, likely before the suicide. Miss Kimishima?
It's not suicide. I feel that. I heard all of that on my remote.
Are you feeling all right?
This was murder.
I'm in danger.
Send the corpse to CIFM immediately. I'll examine it. I want all finger and footprints found in that room.
No. I'm still at 13.
If you find anything, contact me directly. I'll be at the lab.
Let's see.
What was that about?
Well, she does work at the forensic medicine
I'm in
laboratory.
danger and hydrate.
Supposedly, she solved a lot of cases for the FBI.
The FBI?
That's right. That means we need to keep out of this. Come on, hurry down to the car for the fingerprint powder.
Oh, right away.
What?
Let's begin.
I don't have those turned
This
on.
is Dr. Naomi Kimishima, ID 422194.
My redeems don't show up on stream. Let's begin. This is Dr. Naomi Kimishima, ID 422194.
Hey, little guy. Tell me what we know so far about this.
Oh, right. The victim's 30-year-old Dennis Taylor. At 3:30 p.m., someone in the same building reported a fire. The firefighters found the body in bed 20 minutes later. He had a knife in one hand and a deep wound on his wrist. The door was closed and chained. It's being ruled suicide.
Nonsense. Is that your personal opinion or your FBI training?
Well, isn't that the most reasonable
Why is
fitting
that the most
explanation?
fitting explanation?
I thought people learned when they grew older.
Doctor, what do you mean by that?
Let's begin. Show me how this life's flame was snuffed out.
All right. Let's take a look at the corpse. I've had the body taken to the evidence room. You're free to examine it whenever you want. All right, I'll head over there right now. Dr. Kimishima, one more thing before you go. What now? The information that we know up to this point has been sent to your computer. If you don't mind, would you please check that out? All right. Take a look at my computer then. Alright. Hint cards. Information gathered is displayed on the computer as hint cards. He shows up as a freaking me. Dr. Kimishima, what's the matter? If you found something that you at the scene or on the body that you need me to analyze, please let me know. I do work for a nationwide organization after all. I'll try to help you as much as I can. Alright. This is a voice recorder. I don't have any use for it at the moment. It may have some purpose later on though. Remember where I found this. Let's see. The little guy said I should check the intel he sent on my computer. Now let's try sorting through the information gathered so far. Intel sound computer, alright. Yeah, there's nothing. to check the intel he sent on my computer. Well, let's try sorting through the information that's been gathered so far. Can. Doesn't make much sense. Alright. So what am I putting together? Is this the knife that was in the corpse's hand? I'll look into it over here. Can you give me some time? Ah, so she did go by that name there here too. Yes, she did. Let's go to the evidence room. Examining the corpse. Personal effects. Let's examine the corpse first. Scan camera control changes angle, zoom in, B, or zoom back out. Select A. Yeah. Time to begin examining the corpse.
This wound on the wrist is believed to be the cause of death. Even though this looks like a self-inflicted wound made with a sharp knife, there's something unnatural about it.
Answering questions. Autopsy rules. Incorrect answers lower her left gauge. If it empties, you fail. Cancel the quiz. Let's consider the slash wound on the left wrist. If the victim did commit suicide in this way, the wound is odd in that no signs of pain reaction, no bleeding, no signs of healing. A slash wrist isn't fatal. Well, it's not fatal unless he bleeds to death, but well, I can't answer that right now. This is a difficult call. I should leave this mystery for later. There's something odd about the eyeballs here. The abnormality that I noticed in the corpse's eyes was there were tears of blood, red spots in the eyeballs. The card eye abnormality has been obtained.
Yes, there appear to be spots of hemorrhaging in the eyeballs. This isn't a common condition. Perhaps I should ask Little Guy about it.
For now. I'll go back and check that cut. Need to be more thorough and careful while I'm examining the corpse and personal effects. Yeah. The deceased was wearing a white dress shirt. There are blood stains on the left sleeve. Huh? No, that's all you can see. That's it. So I feel like I'm not looking close enough at this. I need to be more thorough.
This wound on the wrist is believed to be the cause of death. Even though this looks like a self-inflicted wound made with a sharp knife, there's something unnatural about it.
No, that's not it.
That was careless. Concentrate.
Alright.
That's right. There's only the one wound on the wrist. A single slash, deep enough to reach the artery. No matter who it is, pain is an immediate response to a cut. No one should be able to make a single cut this clean and deep without flinching. I can't say this is proof of homicide, but I can't ignore this incongruity.
Obvious evidence, but I feel like there's something that I'm missing here. Maybe I should look at
it. Is this a bruise? It's oddly shaped, though.
the finger's busted.
There's something odd about the index finger on the right hand.
Fractured.
Indeed. We can't say what's wrong with it for sure until it's sent in for analysis, though.
Leave this room and consider the information I found so far. And now, normal finger, back to my office. I should try doing that now while the investigator is trying to contact you through the computer. Yeah.
Dr. Kimishima, the results of the examination of the knife have come in. Let's see, the knife itself is a cheap common brand sold all over the country. It'll be difficult to locate where the knife came from. The blood left on the blade matches the deceased's. Only his fingerprints were found on the handle as well.
I see. At least one thing is clear now. That is...
the fingerprints and blood on the knife came from the body. This proves... knife has become deadly knife.
Yes. This knife is believed to have been used to slit the victim's wrist. Even then, we can't prove that unless we compare it to the wound.
Using hint cards. Alright. Cards, card combination, 2 cards will fuse together.
The shape of the knife blade corresponds with the wound found on the wrist. This means that...
the shape of the knife blade matches the wound on the body's wrist. This shows that the knife was used on his wrist. Slashing knife has been obtained.
Indeed. This appears to be an open and shut case. Then again, this all seems a little too convenient for me.
There's no mistake. This finger is fractured. Can you send me the details? We'll get an x-ray performed as soon as possible. Oh, and I have one more piece of good news, Dr. Kimishima. I've received a recording from HQ of a witness's account.
Great, that will be useful. Who's the witness?
It's the deceased's neighbor. We've asked her some questions about the day of the incident.
Perfect timing. Maybe we'll be able to use her account to determine when the fire started.
Recorder can now be used. The neighbor's account has been added to the recorder. The topic neighbor's condition has been added to the neighbor's account on the recorder.
I'll send the data over to you. Please check it using the recorder in your room.
No, he can't analyze that.
Hemorrhaging in the eyes, you say? It's a condition called petechia, caused by increased blood pressure and spasms in the blood vessels. It's commonly found as a sign of death by asphyxiation.
Wait a second, that doesn't seem right. If I recall correctly, the victim...
died of a slashed wrist.
The cause of death was thought to be hemorrhaging from a slashed wrist. If the cause of death is asphyxiation, it's possible that we are dealing with a homicide.
Eye abnormality has become signs of asphyxiation. Yes. No, not yet. I gotta listen to the recorder. Kirsten Langling, 70, female. Dennis's neighbor. She was asked about what she did observe on the day of the incident. Yes, we are. Listening to the witness account, press A to hear the witness's statement. Listening for clues, point to the words related to the topic in the upper left, press A. Okay.
Yes, that's right. Oh, it's been so hot lately. I've been keeping the window that faces out into the street open because of the heat. That's how I could hear my neighbor so clearly. It was, let me think, around 3 in the afternoon? Yes, it must have been. I was watching Farewell Danny at the time. I heard this loud noise from my neighbor's room.
There must be more to this.
I heard this loud noise from my neighbor's room. And then the fire alarm started going off a little after that.
A loud noise followed by the fire. That may be a clue.
Neighbor's sound's been added in.
The way she described it, the sound doesn't seem to have been something exploding. Could the noise have been made by someone in the room? Or something else?
There was noise coming from the room at around 3 p.m. and then the fire started. If the fire really started after the noise began, we should be able to narrow down the victim's time of death to some extent. Alright, time to use the computer to sort out this new information. Now let's try sorting through the information that's been gathered so far.
The room was sealed, and the neighbor heard the sounds at around 3 p.m. The fire occurred not long after that. What we can deduce from that is...
The neighbor heard noises coming from Dennis's room at around 3 p.m. and the fire started afterwards. This suggests that...
That's right. At least, that's all we can determine using our current information. The deceased was alone at the time, so there's a good chance he made the noise. Still, we need more information to see if there was anyone else in the room when it happened.
The topic was anyone there has been added to the neighbor's account on the recorder.
Yes, that's right. Oh, it's been so hot lately. I've been keeping the window that faces out into the street open because of the heat. That's how I could hear my neighbor so clearly. It was, let me think, around 3 in the afternoon? Yes, it must have been. I was watching Farewell Danny at the time. I heard this loud noise from my neighbor's room. And then the fire alarm started going off a little after that. I was really surprised. I think it was about 10 minutes. I looked out the window and saw smoke coming from next door.
Oh, there was a fire.
I looked out the window and saw smoke coming from next door. I ran over to my neighbor's door, but nobody answered when I pounded on it.
Okay.
I ran over to my neighbor's door, but nobody answered when I pounded on it. But I had to see if there was anyone in there, so I pulled on the door. It was chained from the inside, and no one answered me when I yelled.
So the room was completely locked. That lines up with what I heard about the fire.
Yes, the fire truck came soon after that. A firefighter cut the chain on the door and went inside. My neighbor? No, it seems he lived alone. But I remember an electrician came at around noon.
So an electrician had come to the deceased's room that day at around noon.
The card electrician visit has been...
That was much earlier than when the fire supposedly started, but we should investigate it.
These little guys trying to contact me. I should turn on my computer and hear what he has to say. Let's try sorting through.
Ah, little guy. Perfect timing. It seems an electrician entered the deceased's room around noon on the day of the incident. If he's talked to your people, can you ask them for the recordings of the interview?
All right, I'll contact them immediately.
Please do. How's the analysis going?
Well, regarding the fracture on the corpse's finger, the right index finger was fractured by an external force. It's rather odd. There are no signs of healing in the fractured area.
Dead.
No traces of healing. That would mean...
The bone broke after he died.
That's right. Reactions to injury, like minute healing and hypodermic hemorrhaging, are vital reactions. They only occur while the body is still alive. Thus, if there were no vital reactions to this broken bone, the fracture happened... It must have occurred after the person was already dead.
That would have to be the case. Oh, and to be clear, there's no way that the body was damaged during transport. We take the utmost precautions when moving bodies.
Huh. I hadn't considered that until you brought it up. Still, I'll take your word for it. If his index finger was broken, using the hand would have caused a great deal of pain. With that in mind, he shouldn't have been able to use his right hand all that well.
All right.
There was a wound in the left wrist and a fractured finger on the right hand. This seems odd because...
What seems odd about the broken finger and the slashed wrist is that the dominant hand was used, the knife was in an injured hand. Dennis was actually left-handed. He didn't.
Yes, the deceased would have had to hold the knife in his injured hand to cut his left wrist. Then he would have had to cut deep enough to sever the artery, putting pressure on his broken finger. Even if he was right-handed, this situation just doesn't add up.
Hello, Dr. Kimishima.
Got the small talk. What do you want?
So cold. HQ's questioned the electrician that the neighbor mentioned. I've sent you the recordings. It seems HQ already knew who he was, so there wasn't a problem.
Now we'll find out why that electrician went to the deceased's room.
Alright. Liam Richardson, 31, male. Electrician who visited Dennis's room the day of the incident. He was asked about what happened that day.
Yes? Oh, yes, that's right. A murder? Yes, that's fine. He said his ear was broken and needed to be fixed. That was around noon, I think? I got the call earlier that day. Yes. He said he needed it fixed that day, so I went straight there when I finished the job I was doing. Yeah, it was really quick. All I had to do was swap out a cable. Yeah, it was really quick. All I had to do was swap out a cable. Right. I think I was only there for about an hour.
Just an hour? So there's quite a gap between when he left and when the fire started in the room.
Right. I think I was only there for about an hour. Yes, I fixed his heater.
Paired the heater at this time of year? It's been a warm spring.
The customer?
Has to do with how the victim was acting that day of the incident. Pay attention.
The customer? be surprised if he committed suicide.
See, so the deceased seems like he might be suicidal.
Well, the way he looked, I wouldn't be surprised if he committed suicide. Around 3 p.m.? No, I wouldn't have a clue.
He did come at noon and leave an hour later, so that shouldn't be surprising.
Around 3 p.m.? No, I wouldn't have a clue. I was already fixing a washing machine at my next appointment's house at that time.
Okay.
I was already fixing a washing machine at my next appointment's house at that time. Yes? Oh, yes, that's right. Yes? Oh, yes, that's right. A murder? Yes, that's fine. He said his air was broken and needed to be fixed.
He fixed the air. We should focus on that.
Air repair has been obtained.
There's nothing odd about having a repairman come to work on the ventilation system. But, at the very least, Dennis was still alive when the
Yes, he
electrician
was.
came. We need to learn about the deceased's condition at that time.
Dennis is dead.
Yes? Oh, yes, that's right. A murder? Yes, that's fine. He said his air was broken and needed to be fixed. That was around noon, I think? I got the call earlier that day. Yes. He said he needed it fixed that day, so I went straight there when I finished the job I was doing. Yeah, it was really quick. All I had to do was swap out a cable. Right. I think I was only there for about an hour. Yes, I fixed his heater. Yes, I fixed his heater. The customer? Well, the way he looked, I wouldn't be surprised if he committed suicide.
It wouldn't be surprising if the deceased committed suicide. Sounds like an important detail.
Dennis seemed depressed.
Does that mean the deceased had a motive for killing himself?
Alright, now let's try sorting through the information that's been gathered so far.
Yes, these pieces of information do go together. On the day of the incident, the electrician had been asked to repair the deceased's air. The electrician went to the deceased's room at noon and left after finishing his work. Both the deceased's neighbor and the electrician himself agree on this.
Okay. Around noon to fix the ventilation.
Indeed, both of these facts relate to the deceased. The last time the deceased was seen alive was...
between noon and 1.
That's right. At that time, he seemed...
Pressed.
Yes. This comes from the electrician's testimony. The last time we believe the deceased could have been alive is...
From the information at hand, it's believed that the latest... 3.
Indeed. The neighbor reports hearing a sound from the room at that time. Within an hour after that, a fire started in his room. The deceased was later discovered dead. That's all we know at this point.
Sorting through it all now. Some of these look like I'll be able to learn more by asking the little guy about them. Besides analyzing information for you, you can also speak to the investigator using the computer. Point to the panel in the upper right of the screen and press A to talk to him.
Hey, little guy. I want to go through the information that we've gathered so far.
All right, let's piece it all together step by step.
Let's do that.
The deceased, Dennis Taylor, was found dead in his apartment. Let's see. His body was discovered because...
A fire.
Yes, but by the time firefighters arrived on the scene, the fire had already gone out. His corpse was found on the bed.
That's right. The FBI and police initially ruled this case as a suicide. The reason for that was...
The knife and the slash wrist.
That's correct. The other reason was...
The door was locked.
Indeed. The slashed wrist and the chained door point towards suicide. It would seem he was so desperate for death that he would both slit his wrist and set his room on fire. That isn't a surprising conclusion.
The knife blade does match the shape of the wound in the wrist. The blood on the blade matches his DNA. Lastly, the deceased's fingerprints were found on the handle of the knife.
Those are all true, but there was something odd about that wound on his wrist. First...
no pain reaction wounds.
Another point is...
No, you would be right.
Ugh! His finger was fractured. Would he have been able to use a knife with a wounded hand?
It's very unlikely, but that's not the only thing that raises doubt. If he did die of the knife wound, he would have bled to death. However, investigating the corpse points to a different cause of death. That is...
That's right, the petechia on the eyes, and the strange bruise on his abdomen. There's more than enough evidence to doubt that this was a suicide.
But according to the electrician's statement, the victim seemed like he might be in a state to commit suicide.
Indeed. There are too many uncertainties to be able to draw a conclusion at this point. I'm going to have to investigate the scene for myself. Little guy, get me approval to enter the area.
Oh, understood. You shouldn't have a problem, Dr. Kimishima. I'm sure my bosses will approve you right away.
Yes, but I don't intend to waste any time. I'm going there right now. You deal with the rest on your end.
Crime scene now is available to investigate. So leave this room and go to the crime scene now. Now we need to begin investigating this scene. Crime scene is available from now on. You'll be able to visit that location whenever you want. Yes.
This is where the deceased's corpse was. If this bloodstain is his blood, then...
He was lying on his back.
Yes, the injury was on his left wrist. From the position of the bloodstain, it would appear he was lying face up on the bed. There was only the one bloodstain, so he didn't move around much after his wrist was slit. If this truly is a suicide, that would mean that he bled to death here. However, the amount of hemorrhaging here seems to be too small for a man to completely bleed out. This is a table. Now that I look closely, the burns are most severe right here. What was burning here? If I send this for analysis, I might find out what was on fire on the table. It's the ceiling fan. There's a speed selector and a timer. One of the blades seems to be broken, though.
Yeah, what was fixed?
The electrician had supposedly come to fix the air. I need to review his testimony to confirm what he actually fixed.
I find anything else.
Who's this in the picture? The deceased's friend? I see. I was so caught up in the case that I didn't check the man's background. Hello, little guy. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I hear you. Did you need something, Dr. Kimishima?
Yes. Can you do me a favor and look into the deceased's friends? I'm going to send you a picture right now. Try getting a hold on whoever that is.
All right. Is there anything in particular you'd like us to
I don't
find
know
out?
what happened to the fan hero, but apparently an electrician was supposed to have come in to fix the air.
Let's see. First, about the deceased himself. It'd be great to find out more about the day of the incident.
All right. I'll make preparations to have them questioned. I'll send you the recordings of their answers, so please check the recorder.
Good. I'm glad you can get on this so quickly. I'll be counting on you.
This seems to be all the information that I can gather at the moment. I should return to my office and sort through what I've learned from the visit. Dr. Kimishima, I forgot to tell you. We interrogated the man in the photo that was found in the victim's room. As usual, I transferred the voice data over to you. Please use the recorder to review the interview. Alright, this conversation is about the victim's acquaintances, right? You may have valuable information for us. At least information regarding the victim on the day of the incident. I should keep my ears open while I listen to it. Jameson Morton, 29 male. Dennis's friend. He was asked about how the victim had acted before his death.
What you want, man? Why are you calling me out here? Huh? Do you want to talk about Dennis? You're better off asking his girlfriend. Her name's, Stella. Yeah, she's at the club down on Roulette Street. Yeah, she can probably tell you more about Dennis than I can. That guy, huh? No, nothing. He's a friend of mine, you know? I don't hate him. We'd been drinking together the night before he died, after all.
Okay. Defend the victim until morning of the incident.
I don't know, he did seem pretty flush recently, if you know what I mean.
So Dennis had money? Or how he got it?
I don't know, he did seem pretty flush recently, if you know what I mean. He called me up out of the blue and said he'd pick up the tab that night. That wasn't really important, it was just how he normally brags. He was all proud of this red Portland Jacks t-shirt he was wearing too.
A Portland Jacks t-shirt. If he was telling the truth, the victim was wearing that shirt on the day of the incident. In any case, after hearing this testimony, it seems hard to believe that the deceased would have committed suicide. That reminds me, the man said in his interview that the deceased had a girlfriend. I wonder if HQ knows who she is. This is worth asking Little Guy about.
Yes, did you call Dr. Kimishima?
I need you to look into somebody for me. A woman named Stella Abbott.
Oh, the deceased's girlfriend? Well, technically his ex...
That doesn't matter. Can you find her?
We already have. HQ's just finished questioning her. Oh,
yes.
Should I send you the recording?
Please. Now, if you don't mind. I feel like I'm getting closer to understanding who Dennis Taylor really is.
According to the victim's friend, the victim was wearing a t-shirt on the day he died. Maybe you'll learn something from things here. Should take another look at the victim's personal effects. Dennis's friend mentioned what he was getting on.
That reminds me. Someone mentioned the clothing that the deceased was wearing on the day of the incident. That's odd. There's nothing that stands out about the clothing. Somebody said something about what the deceased had been wearing that day.
Right. Now let's try sorting through the information that's been gathered so far.
Something about this shirt is bothering me.
There's a large discrepancy between the clothes found on the body and the testimony of what we saw him earlier. Change clothes.
That's right. The deceased was apparently wearing a red t-shirt on the day of the incident. Did he change after he got home? Or was there some reason for changing his shirt? This does raise some doubts. The electrician supposedly came to the victim's room to fix his air, but he didn't repair the ceiling fan? Or did the fan break after the electrician had left? In any case, I'll need to hear his account again.
What was fixed?
Dr. Kimishima, did you receive the voice data?
From the deceased's girlfriend? Have you sent it?
You should be able to listen to it using the recorder. Please listen to it when you can.
Right. First, I want to know about the deceased's source of income.
He did seem fairly well off for somebody without a steady job.
Indeed. I'll be listening for that while I'm going over the recording.
Victim delivers account, huh? Let's go. I want to listen to the electrician first.
Yes? Oh, yes, that's right. A murder? Yes, that's fine. He said his ear was broken and needed to be fixed. That was around noon, I think? I got the call earlier that day. Yes. He said he needed it fixed that day, so I went straight there when I finished the job I was doing. Yeah, it was really quick. All I had to do was swap out a cable. Yeah, it was really quick. All I had to do was swap out a cable. Right. I think I was only there for about an hour. Yes, I fixed his heater.
He fixed the heater. Something about that seems odd.
Too hot to need the heater.
Yes, the deceased's neighbor mentioned that. Summer is already starting. And yet, on the day of the incident, the deceased wanted to have his heater repaired? There's something strange about this after all.
Now let's listen to the girlfriend. Stella Abbott, 21, female, Dennis's ex-girlfriend. She was asked about Dennis's activities while he was alive.
Seriously? What do you guys want? I've got work to do, so let's get this over with. Huh? Dennis? You mean Dennis Taylor? Wow, that name brings back bad memories. We broke up years ago. Yeah, at first I thought he was an interesting guy, pretty cool and all. But he never had a job, and he just kind of wandered through life. Oh, but he always had money. I'm sure he didn't come by it honestly.
No.
Oh, but he always had money. I'm sure he didn't come by it honestly. Ugh, are you really this slow? Don't you get it? Drugs. He was a drug dealer.
Good heavens. The deceased's been holding on to quite a secret. I'm going to have to change the way I approach this case. Let's go through the information we have, now that we know the deceased's true identity. Unbelievable. The deceased had this hidden dark side to him.
This is looking more and more like a case worth investigating. If Dennis Taylor was a drug dealer, then there could be a variety of reasons to kill him.
Still, I can't let my prejudices cloud the truth. I need to remain objective. However, it seems that we're going to have to change our views regarding this case.
Right. I'll prepare the CSI's ALS.
ALS? The advanced light source that can adjust the wavelength being emitted?
That's right. An object's visibility depends on the light being reflected from that object. The ALS lets you select a particular wavelength to focus only on what you want to see.
Or hide what you don't want to see.
Huh? Oh, no.
I'll try using it. Thanks, little guy.
The investigation light can now be used while investigating crime scenes. Let's use it. Now I need to begin investigating this scene. ALS investigation light. ALS light source is used for examining crime scenes. Reveal clues not available to the human eye. ALS is a vital tool in solving cases.
There's white powder scattered on the floor. It looks like there are footprints in it. I can guess at what this powder is, but I should send it in for analysis just in case. This powder on the floor seems to trail behind the shelf. Bingo. There's more of that powder inside this hole in the wall. What an obvious place for a hiding spot. Mr. Taylor wasn't all that clever.
This seems to be all the information that I can gather using the ALF. Should return to my office and so whatever. Alright. So... possible cocaine. Need more information about the white powder that I found at the crime scene. I think we have a pretty good idea of what this is. I'll have it investigated in any case. Can you please wait?
Dr. Kimishima, about that white powder that was spread on the floor. There were traces of drugs found within it. A number of different sets of footprints were identified in that powder as well. They all belonged to the firefighters, police, and you, of course.
I see. That means...
Footprints found in the drugs were all from firefighters, policemen, and myself. This tells us that they fell when the fire started.
Exactly. That would be the case. The room belonged to the deceased. If the drugs had been spread on the floor before the incident, his footprints should be there as well. But the only footprints in the room were from people who had entered after the fire. This would mean that the drugs would have to have been spread before or soon after the fire began. I still have doubts. My main concern about this is...
The reason most people use a ceiling fan is for air circulation.
Yes, fans circulate air within a room. If the owner was having his air system fixed, the fan should have been considered part of it. Why then would the electrician fix only the heater and not the ceiling fan?
Okay.
All right, let's go over the information we've gathered. First, the white powder.
White powder was found on the to reveal to be drugs.
Yes, the trail of drugs led directly to the hole behind the shelf. If the same powder from the floor was inside the hole, then...
Oh. Place to throw away drugs.
How could I do that?
A place to hide drugs. I didn't see that one.
That's right. But there weren't any drugs inside the hole. The layer of drugs had footprints from the firefighters, the police, and me left in them. All of the footprints had something in common.
They all made after the fire.
Indeed. There weren't any footprints from before the time the fire began. So from this, we can deduce that the drugs must have been scattered on the floor when...
Just after the fire. No.
That was careless.
Scattered just before the fire.
Yes. If I take this even further, I'd say that it would have been after Mr. Taylor stopped moving. In other words, it must have happened between his death and when the fire started. But why were there drugs on the floor?
The drugs were placed on the floor at around the time on the floor started. They were on the floor. Solid evidence. Missing drugs have been obtained. They do not need to be analyzed or infused with other evidence card.
Yes, they must have spilled out when someone removed the drugs from the hole in the wall. Dennis Taylor was killed, and someone walked out with the drugs. I'm starting to get a clearer picture of what happened here, but there's no proof just yet. I need to move on to the next step. I should consult with Little Guy about this.
Dr. Kimishima, have you confirmed that it's a murder after all?
I don't know how you heard about that so quickly, Little Guy. Have you been eavesdropping on me?
Huh? What? No,
Forget it. I can see right through you.
Oh, right. I have a new tool for you. It's luminol. Do
I
I
know.
need to explain it to you?
A chemiluminescent material based on reducing 5-nitrothalhydrazide with sodium dithionite. It reacts to iron and hemoglobin by glowing, making it useful to find otherwise hidden bloodstains. Anything else?
No.
Good. I just spray this onto suspicious areas, then shine the ALS on it, right? I'm sure it will be useful. Thank you, Little Guy.
Alright, let's do luminol testing. Yeah. I'm familiar with luminol.
So there were bloodstains here too. If these are from the deceased, we may be able to use this with something else that we know. There's a reaction to blood on this screw that's securing the doorknob. The screw seems rather loose as well.
What?
Come to think of it, the door to this room was chained shut when the fire started. Could this be related to that in some way? There's a rope wrapped around the shaft of the ceiling fan. There's no mistake. Those are bloodstains.
I think I finished gathering information here at the scene. Should return to my office and sort through what I've learned here. Alright, let's go back to the office. Doesn't look like I'll be able to learn any more from the scene of the crime. Should sort through the information I've gathered. Trying sorting through the information that's been gathered so far.
Yes, these two pieces can be combined into one. The rope wrapped around the ceiling fan is what caused it to break. The question now is why there was a rope around it in the first place. Not yet. The electrician said it wasn't. He'd commit suicide, but there's another account that gives a different impression. Nope. No. That's his income. It's true then. This does have to do with the victim, but I wonder why. I get the feeling that there's something very wrong about this.
Two accounts from the people who saw Dennis seem to differ dramatically. This difference is nothing at all. Dennis's behavior, the recording quality. Card Dennis the Pusher.
Indeed. At first glance, it doesn't seem like these refer to the same person at all. On the one hand, drug-dealing scum enjoying his life. On the other, a man with suicidal depression. Either one of these clues is false, or there's more to this shady business that I haven't found out. In either case, the truth of the matter is that he was indeed a drug dealer.
All right. Nothing is connecting very well. The loose screw on the door plate was very loose. You need to have this analyzed in greater detail. Oh.
What's this? It just looks like a loose screw to me.
Think harder, little guy. How was the room when the firefighters arrived at the scene? The entrance was closed, but was it completely inaccessible?
The body was discovered. The door to the room was chained to deadbolt. Only by a chain.
That's right. The chain on the door had been attached, but the door itself wasn't locked.
Sorry, but the door only opens about 15 centimeters with the chain attached. I don't even think a small child could get through a space that small.
You're so unimaginative. Flex your mind and think about it. Listen to me. What I'm trying to tell you is...
Killer was able to go through the door with a chain shut by removing one screw.
This loose screw tells us everything. With the screw removed, the entire plate on the door can be swiveled around by the doorknob. The plate itself is about 20 centimeters long, so the gap increases to almost 35 centimeters. How big does somebody have to be that he couldn't fit through a space that size?
Oh, I see now. That's more than enough room to get past the door. So the killer just screwed the plate back on from the outside after he left the room then.
I think that's the most likely explanation. But the killer was in plain sight once he was outside the door. He wanted to finish quickly. The killer couldn't completely tighten the screw and left the area as we found it.
Wow. That proves that this isn't quite the locked room mystery we thought it was.
Huh. Still, this doesn't help us figure out who the killer is. I need to investigate the situation in more detail.
Dr. Kimishima, we've identified the blood on the screw. It's a DNA match with the victim, Dennis Taylor. Why would his blood be there, of all places?
It's simple. What happened was... I can't mess around anymore. It's time to get serious.
That's not possible because his blood... No, that's still wrong.
I can't mess around anymore. It's time to get serious.
Yeah, so touch the murder weapon.
That's right. It's probably because he touched the murder weapon.
Wait, why would the killer touch that screw with the murder weapon?
He would have to, if the weapon was... I can't make any more rash decisions. I need to think cautiously. Yes, a screwdriver. It was likely used to both loosen and tighten that screw.
I see. Then the screwdriver left the blood on the screw while he was covering his tracks.
Then use the same tool to replace the screw on the door. Any stab wounds? Is this it?
Yes. These pieces of information are hiding an important fact. I didn't notice because the bleeding had stopped completely, but this isn't a bruise. It's a stab wound. This strange pattern here is likely... I can't make any more rash decisions. I need to think cautiously.
Damn it.
I cannot make any more mistakes. Yes, that's right. It's indisputable evidence that the weapon was jammed in so deeply that the grip left a bruise.
Okay. Meaning... that means this.
Yes. These do lead the way to a definite truth. Looking at the location of the bruise, the tip of the screwdriver must have pierced Dennis's lung. His lung would then rupture, causing pulmonary emphysema, and he would have suffocated. This explains the spots of hemorrhaging in the corpse's eyes.
True cause of death has been obtained.
What actually happened that day is slowly coming to light now.
All right.
This is odd. There's something missing that should be here. If the puncture wound in the abdomen is the true cause of death, calm down and ascertain the truth, Naomi.
Judging from the damage to the corpse, the one thing that must be on the clothing is blisters and stab wounds.
Right. There should be blood stains and a hole where the screwdriver went through his clothing. Yes, these pieces of information can tell us something. According to Mr. Taylor's friend, on the day of the incident, Dennis had been wearing, calm down and ascertain the truth, Naomi. That's right. He was supposedly wearing a red Portland Jacks t-shirt that day. But when his body was discovered, it was wearing, calm down and ascertain the truth, Naomi.
White shirt.
Yes. His corpse was found wearing a white shirt. In other words, his clothing had changed. And yet, if that was all we know, we couldn't rule out if the deceased had changed his shirt himself. However, if he had, there would still be a discrepancy. Calm down and ascertain the truth, Naomi.
The fact because no indication of a stab wound.
Yes. The corpse had a wound that wasn't reflected by the state of the clothing it was wearing. There's only one answer to this puzzle, and that is, calm down and ascertain the truth,
The external
Naomi.
trauma on the body doesn't match that on the clothing. This means the killer made Dennis change, the killer stole his clothes.
Indeed. Whoever had killed Mr. Taylor replaced the shirt he was wearing after killing him. The reason for doing that was, calm down and ascertain the truth, Naomi.
The reason the killer changed Dennis's clothing after murder was hard camouflage.
Exactly. It was probably to hide the stab wound and make us believe that cut wrist was the cause of death. The killer staged the suicide in order to mislead us. I see. These two are related. There are no vital reactions to the broken finger. That means the damage occurred after death. Considering that the killer must have changed the victim's clothing after death, calm down and ascertain the truth,
victim's finger
Naomi.
was broken after death. and his clothing was changed. This shows that solid evidence.
That's right. The killer broke the corpse's finger while changing the shirt on the body.
Alright. What next? No, he does not.
This is a blood stain. One moment, please. I did some quick calculations. A stain of that size would take about 800 milliliters of blood.
The average adult male would have to lose at least 1,500 milliliters in order to bleed to death. This means that calm down
About
and
800
ascertain the
milliliters
truth,
of blood
Naomi.
was on the bed, but a lethal amount of blood lost for an adult male is 150 or 1,500 milliliters. What this means is that he might not have bled to death. He definitely didn't bleed to death.
I cannot make any more mistakes. Well, the amount of blood loss required varies from person to person, so this isn't quite proof. It is unusual, though. I'll have to remember it. That's right. There were 2 different bloodstains left in the deceased's room. Now, which of these bloodstains happened first? Calm down and ascertain the truth, Naomi. That's true, unless the corpse got up and walked over by itself. It's most likely that the deceased died where the first bloodstains were found, and then was carried to the bed afterwards. That would explain why there was such a small amount of blood on the bed itself.
Alright. Collected some of the remains of the fire. Can you find out what started the fire? I can't promise anything, but I'll send it to the lab. Contact you once the results of the analysis came back, so please continue with your investigation.
Oh, Dr. Kimishima, sorry for the wait. The analysis of the burnt material has come back from the laboratory. Calcium hydroxide was detected in the sample.
Calcium hydroxide? You mean slaked lime?
Yes, small amounts of quicklime were also detected. Quicklime is a substance that releases a great deal of heat when it reacts with water.
Huh, I see. So this was calm down
Great
and
amount of
ascertain
heat
the
is
truth,
released
Naomi.
when calcium hydroxide reacts with water. The heat was used to start the fire.
I agree, but isn't it odd? If the killer wanted to start a fire, there are far easier ways to go about it.
You're right. There must have been a reason for this. It's our job to investigate that, isn't it?
Analysis complete.
The fire began near the fallen table. Calcium hydroxide was found in the substance on the floor there. Calcium hydroxide is formed through the reaction of quicklime and water. That reaction creates something else as well. Calm
What
down
happens
and
when
ascertain
calcium
the truth,
hydroxide
Naomi.
reacts with water?
Yes. Quicklime releases 65 kilojoules of energy per mole when it reacts with water. This was the method used to start the fire in this room. First, you would place a glass of water on the table. You would also put quicklime around the floor and on the table near the glass. When the table falls over, the hydration heat caused by the reaction would cause a fire. But why would the killer go through such a complicated plan to start a fire? Calm down and ascertain the truth,
tricks,
Naomi.
To delay when the fire started.
That's right. If all he wanted was a fire, he could have just set something on fire. The killer needed to have a delay until the fire began. That's why he devised a plan that made use of two components. Calm down and ascertain the truth, Naomi.
Start the fire in the room were the bed and the glass, the ceiling fan, and a rope.
Yes. This trick relied on the ceiling fan and a rope. The killer wrapped one end of the rope around the fan and tied the other to a table leg. When the fan activated according to its timer, the fan wound the rope up, flipping the table over and spilling the water onto the quicklime. However, there's still one basic question left to be asked. Why did the killer have to set the room on fire in the first place? Why go through this extravagant setup to make it happen? The reason for that is, calm down and ascertain the truth, Naomi.
The fire was to destroy the body, burn down the building, so Dennis would... Killer wanted to be... So Dennis's body would be found.
Exactly. Due to the fact that there was nothing flammable added to the body itself, the culprit never intended for the corpse and the evidence to be destroyed in the fire. Instead, the killer wanted to cause a commotion that would draw attention to the corpse. Now then, why would that be? Calm down and ascertain the truth,
Naomi.
Naomi.
The corpse discovered was to create an alibi.
That's right. By delaying the start of the fire, the plan was to have enough time to create a viable alibi for when the fire began. It's easy. I mean, with this method of misdirection, the culprit could start a fire hours after having left the crime scene entirely.
Solid evidence.
This is the entire truth behind this mysterious arson. Yes. These two can tell us how the murder happened. On the day of the incident, the killer came to the victim's room and stabbed him in the torso. The murder weapon was... Calm down and ascertain the truth, Naomi. Yes. The screwdriver pierced the victim's lung, causing pulmonary emphysema. This caused respiratory problems due to lung failure. Thus, the cause of death was... Calm down and ascertain the truth, Naomi. After this, the killer moved the victim to the bed. This is most likely because... Calm down and ascertain the truth,
like
Naomi.
Suicide. Solid evidence.
Indeed. The murderer then arranged the corpse to make the death appear to be a suicide. That is what I believe took place, according to the evidence we have gathered.
Dr. Kimishima, how's the investigation going?
I've almost uncovered the deception, but the truth hasn't completely been revealed.
I see. So we can't arrest the culprit yet?
That's right. I need conclusive evidence that can help us identify the killer.
The most reliable giveaway would be if we could find a fingerprint at the crime scene. However, only the victim's fingerprints were found when HQ searched the room.
I'm not surprised, considering the lengths the killer's gone to hide his tracks. The murderer was probably wearing gloves while the crime was being committed.
Huh. Isn't there anything the killer might have touched?
Something that would require him to take his gloves off? It's hard to think of anything.
Well, the best evidence would be on a hard, slick, inorganic substance. It doesn't matter what size it is.
All we can investigate are the crime scene, the corpse, and what the corpse was wearing. Could there be anything among those items that the killer touched with a bare hand? I'll have to investigate further. Thank you, little guy.
I think there would be one thing. I don't know for certain if we can find a printer. Where can I find something hard and smooth on the corpse or on the personal effects? Is there anything like that? In any case, I should take a look. I'm going to check the personal effects.
The killer put this shirt on the victim's corpse after the murder took place. That would mean that the killer would have had to button the shirt up as well. Buttoning up a shirt with gloves on is no easy task. If my predictions are correct,
Yep.
Aha. The buttons on the victim's clothes, huh? I'll look into them right away. One moment, please.
hopefully this will help us find the identity of our mystery murderer.
Dr. Kimishima, it was there. I found it. There's a fingerprint from someone who isn't the victim. It's, a right thumb.
Great. Run the print through the list of registered offenders immediately.
Leave it to me. Such an attention to detail has gone into this, it can't possibly be a first-time offender. There has to be a match for this fingerprint in our records.
I sincerely hope so. This case should be over soon.
Solid evidence. Conclusion reached. The case has been solved.
The dead shall speak. Let's put together the truth of what happened here. The victim in this case is 30-year-old Dennis Taylor. As there's no motive for murder, it's a suspected suicide. However, the victim had a hidden other side. This card is the one with proof of that.
Crap.
So, my time has come. How please.
All right. Where am I at?
This is a bloodstain.
This... Well, it is... that's not... That's true. Unless the corpse got up and walked. It's most likely that the deceased died where the first bloodstains were found, and then was carried to the bed afterward. That would explain why there was such a small amount of...
Calcium hydrochloride. Yes, quick line.
Huh, I see.
I agree, but if the killer wanted...
It's our job to... The fire began calcium hydroxide. That reaction
reacts with all heat is created.
Yes, this was the first. You would also on the table, but
delay when the fire started.
That's right. The killer. That's
two things to start the fire: were the ceiling fan and rope.
Yes, the kill when the fan flip it. However, why go through this? The reason for that. Exactly. Due to the culprit. Instead, now then. That's right. By the plan, it's easy. The culprit could.
Solid evidence.
This. Yes, on the day of the murder.
Screwdriver.
Yes, this.
Asphyxiation.
After this is most.
Solid evidence.
Indeed. That is what I.
No, it's already been analyzed. No, it cannot. So you can't do that. You can't do that. What don't I have? Something that doesn't quite fit, considering the victim's cause of death. Right. There's no hole in his clothes, which is...
If the... Right. There should...
No.
Yes. These pieces of info, according to me...
Red t-shirt.
But
White shirt.
Yeah, and
White
however...
shirt, of course, it doesn't fit back because no indication of stab wound.
Yes, there's only...
This means the killer changed Dennis.
Indeed. The reason...
was to make it look like a suicide.
The killers...
And this goes here.
There are...
Victim's finger is broken. This shows that it's broken while changing. Solid evidence.
That's...
Dr. Kimmich.
I've almost...
I see.
That's right.
Almost, however...
The murderer... Something...
Well, it doesn't matter.
All we... Could there be... I'll have...
I got 5 parts.
The killer put the... Buttoning up a shirt with gloves on, if my...
Alright. Let's analyze the button.
Uh-huh. The button... Doctor, there's a...
Great.
Leave it to me. Such an... They're...
I sincerely...
Solid evidence.
The dead shall speak. Let's put together the truth of what happened here. The victim in this case is 30-year-old Dennis Taylor. As there's no motive for murder, it's a suspected suicide. However, the victim had a hidden other side. This card is the one with proof of that.
Yes.
Yes. While he did work at the bar, he also dealt drugs. This case is related to the victim's drug activities. The proof of that is on this card. Indeed, the drugs hidden behind the shelf were missing. The killer went into Taylor's room to kill him for his drugs. The real cause of the victim's death can tell us that. I know that because of this card. Right. The wound on the wrist was not the true cause. Next, the killer disguised the murder as a suicide. This card proves the misdirection used to hide the murder. Yes, the appearance of suicide covered up the real cause. The next topic is the secret hidden in the room itself. The murderer used a trick to create a locked room mystery. It was made to seem as if the victim was the only one there. This card shows the trick that had been used. Exactly. The killer thought this would clear his trail. And yet, the culprit had one more way to hide from suspicion. That was to hide when the murder itself took place. This card shows how he went about that ruse. The murder took place 3 hours prior to the fire's start. It's natural to assume that if the room was locked, then the crime and the fire would be at the same time. The plan was perfect. No fingerprints were left in the room. However, there was one thing the killer hadn't counted on. There was one task he needed to remove his gloves to do. This card is evidence of that task. He probably couldn't button the clothes with his gloves on. No matter how small the buttons, there were still prints. Even a fragment of a fingerprint can be used to identify him. The victim must have been surprised. After all, he thought the killer was a customer. This is what he said at the very end.
Stop! No!
The final flickers of this soul's light show me the truth. Who's there?
I'm sorry. I must have surprised you.
You're that electrician. Why are you here?
Oh, I was called up because a switchboard blew. I need to have it fixed by tomorrow.
I see. That sounds difficult. Freeze. Don't move. I see corpses all day. One more won't bother me.
Naomi! Are you hurt? I'm sorry. I should have stayed.
I've solved the case. I'll give you my report tomorrow.
The report can wait. Naomi, you must think of your safety.
I think she did fine.
Nobody lives forever. Even if I died today, it'd just be earlier than I expected.
All right. It is saved. Huh? Okay. Yeah, it's not giving me any more buttons, but we are going to end the stream here. Alright. I'm gonna raid somebody new. Let me just check to see if maybe somebody new. I have to check to make sure that they are live. No. All right. Let's raid Daddy. Wow. YouTube got disconnected me for a second. Alright. Weird. There we go. It's over there, but why ain't we getting it on here? There we are. Well, I'm glad you thought it was fun, Di. There is Chadley's link. Now, back to Twitch. We're going to raid Jack. He's playing Dead Island 2. So, if you are on Twitch, give Jack a follow. If you're on YouTube, give Chadley a like and a subscribe, and we are out.